And that's when I realized the tape was upside down.
Classic.
Hey, fellas!
No way! Look who it is!
Get in here, man. Long time no see.
Missed you guys.
Grab a mic. You're on the show.
Welcome to the Life Around 40 podcast. Tonight we have a very special episode of Life Around 40 for our 11th episode. That's correct, right, Drew? Or is
No,
it
it's 12.
It's 12,
It's 12.
my bad. 12th episode. We have our normal hosts, Drew, Taylor, and myself, Graham. And tonight is our special guest, Nick. How are you doing tonight, Nick?
Great. First time, long time.
First time, long time. Are you going to hang up now?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, so I've known Nick for 12 years now, something like that. It's been quite a long time. And then he's also part of our Thursday weekly tabletop RPG group, where I believe is where you kind of got to know Taylor and Drew through that. But I know Jared has come up a few times in the podcast. Nick is a very good mutual friend of Jared and myself. In fact, I met Nick through Jared. So we're happy to have you on, man. Thanks for coming on. How's your week been?
Thanks for inviting. Week has been pretty good. I just got done with a scuba diving trip with said friend Jared and another one. So it was my yearly Misogi, which we'll get into later for the year. So, but got certified, open water, spent a few days under the ocean. So it was a lot of fun.
Where'd you go down to do that at?
Miami.
Miami. Did you run into Will Smith? Was he singing Miami while you were down there?
No, we did have that playing a couple times though.
Oh, well, of course. You can't go to Miami without it, right? I hope they redo it and they add the sound of him slapping, was it Chris Rock in the face?
Oh, good gracious.
All right, Drew, how about you? Anything good this week?
I mean, I wasn't scuba diving. This was end of fiscal year at work, so this was make sure everybody did all their timesheets and other horrible tasks. I did, though, on the weekend. My one buddy gave me some red raw footage, so I spent quite a bit of part of my Sunday trying to just push the color grade. It's amazing what a $7,000-8,000 camera could do as opposed to a $1,500 camera.
Oh, I can imagine.
So,
I can only imagine.
That was the
It was
footage
fun.
that you showed me yesterday, right?
Possibly. I mean, it wasn't like the most exciting. Yeah, the little man on the dock.
Yeah,
It wasn't
yeah,
all
yeah.
the most exciting stuff, but I
Alright.
mean, it was really still neat to see what.
But yeah, no, it was pretty.
and
It was
pull.
pretty footage.
So
Very cool. Taylor.
it's even better when it's not streamed. So say that.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Taylor, how about you, bud?
Work was fairly nothing exciting, and then finally got to host that one shot that you got to join in on Saturday.
Yes.
And that was a good time. We kind of talked a little bit about it. You know, it was about a 5-hour thing, but it certainly, when you're doing the DM part of it, it certainly doesn't feel like it because you're just trying to focus on getting through stuff and making sure everybody's having fun with it. And it was kind of a blink of an eye outside of like a couple of moments that were just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's over on the other side of the room, but I had a ridiculous bull mask that
It was pretty ridiculous.
that whole scene got a good giggle out of everybody. So, and, 3 of them have never played before, and they enjoyed it enough that they want to do another one. So I'm putting together stuff to do another one. So
Yeah, it was a very good time. I got a little concerned when he closed the blackout curtains and then started lighting the candles. That was a little unsettling.
little
But it turned
seance
out all
energy.
right. Yeah, so
little
it turned out all right.
romantic for you.
He when he said he had like 6 different costumes, he was not kidding. It was like every 10 seconds he was in a new hat or a new coat. So it was a very good time though. Everybody, I think we talked about it earlier this week. Everybody brought really good energy. Everybody had a good time, it seemed like. So it was kind of fun to draw some new people into the fold in the role-playing world. It's, if you're willing to put aside being embarrassed, it can be a lot of fun if you just kind of let go and have a good time with it. everybody's there to be silly. So
Right. Well, and that's the thing too, right? Is that matching that energy, because if you get a combination of people who are like, oh, I want to be super serious with this versus, oh, I just want to be silly, it's kind of like mixing oil and water.
yeah,
It doesn't quite work out so well, but everybody either was, there to just kind of have fun or warmed up to it and maybe a little bit reserved at first. But that's what Matt said about his daughter, because that's also the other thing too, is a very wide ranging
of
age group,
ages.
right? Yeah, because he's like 10 years older than Graham and I, and then his daughter's 15, and then one of my coworkers, and well, Matt and I's coworkers and friend, Abby, she's 20. So there's a big range gap there, but they kind of saw how Graham and Matt were. They were both from the get-go willing to be like, yep, we're here to be
Oh
buffoons,
yeah,
and
oh
then they
yeah.
kind of warmed up to it and everything. So it was a good bit of fun, and they got close to trying to murder one of my NPCs, which was my Benicio del Toro hair. That
Yeah, you had all this like this huge interaction with me planned and whatever, and they immediately started trying to kill him, and I'm like, well, I don't think that's the way Taylor meant that to go.
Well,
Nick
it's
knows
funny.
Nick knows a little bit about killing characters and NPCs, don't you, Nick?
You're right.
After our last
Yeah.
Dragonbane session and the ruthless slaughtering or attempted slaughtering of the wizard, that I think was at your behest, honestly.
That's the
right.
beauty of the games. It can go in any direction.
Exactly.
Hmm.
No, it was a good time. So I guess a big thing for me, Sunday, my cousin, she flew in from Japan, Sakata, Japan. She's going to be here until next Friday. So we went up Sunday after the girls' football game and went up to my aunt's house and, excuse me, got to hang out with her for a couple hours. She's pretty much my little sister. I miss her a lot living over there. It's great every time she comes home. Same with my other cousin who lives out in San Francisco. She's my little sister as well. I love when they come visit. I don't get to see them very often. So we're trying to figure out a couple more ways or another couple times we maybe get up and see her, maybe go out to dinner with her. I'm not sure yet, but that's kind of going to be my focus for the next week or so, is just make sure I can spend as much time with her as I can before she leaves. So I was very excited for her to be back. It's been
That's
great
a
so far.
hike. How often does she come back from
She
Japan
tries to
to
come
the
back once
States?
a year. She tries to come back once a year. So this past spring, she actually got married to a guy who's, he's a Japanese native. He's never been to the States, and I don't think he knows really any English. She's trying to convince him to come over, and she's like, "Oh, I'm going to convince him to eventually come." I think he's just a little worried about. He's never been here, the language barrier.
Dude, the
But
Google Translate, just have
oh,
that live and running. There was a car that broke down. I didn't know what language, or I think they were like Spanish. So he had that thing up and it was like live translate. His car broke down. We were like trying to diagnose it. It was
yeah,
like
it's
real time.
wild. It's
Hmm.
so we over in Japan, their big messenger is a thing called Line, Line, and my cousin, she started a group chat with both of my cousins and then her husband, so we could kind of get to know each other a little bit now that they're married. And at first, we had an auto translator like bot built into it, but it wasn't doing a very good job. So a lot of times now, I'll just go into Google Translate, type what I want, and then pull out the Japanese writing and throw it into Line, so he doesn't have
Huh.
to translate it. But it's because a lot of times he'll do that in English. He'll write it in Japanese in a translator and then paste it in English. But it's been pretty cool to get to know him a little bit. But no, that's been very exciting to see her again, and hopefully I can catch her at least one or two more times before she leaves. Because yeah, it's about once a year she comes back. So I know, during COVID, she was able to come for like 2 years because of that. The
Hmm.
Japanese were very, very strict about that. And it took them quite a while to reopen back up and allow that kind of travel. So, um, all right. Unless anybody has anything else, Nick, you want to give us your topic? Just so the listeners know, Nick is going to be providing both the topic and the top three. Our last couple shows have been going over a little more than we wanted. We're actually going to ditch the throwback segment. We think going forward, we're going to kind of test that, see how that sits, see if that maybe cuts down on our time a little bit, so we're not running into 2 hours, 1.5, 2 hours every episode. So just a little context there. But Nick, you want to go ahead and give us your topic?
Put the homework on the guest. Love it.
Oh yeah,
That's what we do.
We were running out of ideas anyways. So
No, it's good. So I love some of the throwback stuff and the callbacks to back, to our youth, and the culture and time back then. So I thought it'd be good to look forward. We're at the around the 40 mark. We've talked. I've listened to a lot of like awesome stuff about the past, but what does that next chapter look like? What does retirement look like? Because that's coming up sooner than later. We're like mid careers here. So wanted to get some insights as far as where your headspaces are at, if you've even thought about it. What does retirement look like for you?
the fact that he said midway through my career is just the most depressing thing.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's disgusting to hear that. Thanks, Nick.
It might even
Shit.
be more so, if you think about it.
I assume I have 25 years left of work, and that just breaks my heart.
That's
Hopefully
what my assumption is.
Hopefully I'll die before then.
Right around 20, 26, 27 years, which I've only been in the, I've been in, this industry, which I started pretty much right out of high school for 20 years. So we have longer to work than we worked, which is daunting.
Yeah.
So, but it also means a lot of possibility too. If what I was able to achieve in this 20 years, imagine what I can do with 25 more. So I try to look at it that way. Well, does somebody want to start off, or do we want to pin it back on to Nick to go ahead and kick this off?
We'll make Taylor do it.
Yeah, Taylor.
Oh, you're going to have me start? I don't know if I'm the
Absolutely.
good one to start with this, because truth be told, I have not thought a single thought about retirement.
Man.
It is not really something I think about. Not necessarily as some sort of morbid, macabre sort of, I'll be dead by then. True. But
I said
more...
hopefully. Way different.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that really brightens it up.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really... It feels like there's a lot of antagonism towards work, and I understand it. It takes a lot of our time and stuff. But on the same hand, I always kind of jokingly say that work is a way to keep me from getting into trouble.
A knife wielding psychopath.
Yeah.
No more stabbing kids on the streets.
So, hey, that was 28 years ago. Thank you.
Yeah, and work stopped that. You're right.
Yeah, and I certainly wasn't working by that point. But
any memories, Taylor? Memories?
No, because that's too small. But
Drew's used to hearing that.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
oof.
it was there. It was teed up. I had to take it.
Gracious. But with the assist. But yeah, I do not think about it, and I'm just kind of like, work, and I do enough, and then make sure to wedge out enough free time for myself, one way or the other, to not lament the idea of, I'm not going to do anything or be able to do anything until the quote unquote golden years of my life. And I just, the golden years of your life is like now, the present. Like, I think it's a silly concept to just kind of try to carve out something when you're ailing and elderly.
Really?
So
wow. Man, so what do you think about old people, Taylor? Jeez.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you mean?
They're just ailing.
Well, not all of them.
Scab, just a.
I never said that at all. Thank you. I just said we that's kind of the general gist of it at that point. Kind of get a bit old and elderly and ailing and stuff, or you kind of can be lucky like my grandmother and just kind of blink out of existence and go that route. I guess if you want to make it more that way. Yeah. Turn it back on you.
Well, you know what? I'm going to lighten the mood of your soylent green attitude.
Yeah, you're parasites on society.
I did not say that at all, but thank you for trying to
Just
add
soaking
words
up all
in
that
there.
Social Security, right? Yeah.
Okay, guys. Yeah. You keep doing that. Keep trying.
You keep dreaming about Social Security because at our age, we're never going to
Yeah,
see
it's
that
not going to
shit.
happen. So,
Anyway, I said I was going to lighten the mood. Damn it. Anyways, I see me as a guy that's going to have hobbies. I've thought about what I would do. Like I could see me working, like maybe mowing the lawn at a golf course. I mean, why not? Be fun. I thought about maybe at that point I could do like my own photography studio. Like, wouldn't be a full time gig, but I could go to schools and take pictures. That sounds horrible. Go to schools and take pictures of kids. Like, do headshots for. It just sounded worse the more I said it. But you can do like corporate headshots. I mean, you can do all sorts of stuff. I know, right? But I mean, shit. If you think about it, but by then, how you think about what AI is going to be at that point, right? Just take a picture with your phone, and it's AI will just give you the greatest thing you've ever seen. So I don't know, man, because AI kind of throws a wrench in like half of my retirement plans.
well, I mean, I wouldn't say that. I would say you now have to, as you're doing now, learn how to master AI, so you can then make it work for you. So instead of it putting you out of a job.
But I mean, think about it.
Or a
Like in
hobby.
30 years, will you be mowing your own lawn, or
God, I hope not.
or will you have a
Lord,
lawnmower
please
just go
not.
out and mow your damn lawn?
I hope not. I hate mowing. It's one of my least favorite things on earth.
I thought you made your wife do it.
During before transplant, yeah, because physically I could not do it. But
Did
no,
you sit out
I
with
didn't.
like a cool glass of iced tea and just watch her?
No, I did not.
Like on a lawn
I tried.
chair.
Hey, you missed a spot.
Miss.
I tried to be helpful. All right, I would go out and poop scoop, or try to poop scoop for, maybe do the weed trimming a little. So
I thought you were housebroken.
I tried to contribute. Huh?
Yeah. Nothing.
Okay.
But
I guess I'll go next, unless you're done. Are you done?
I mean, I like just in short. I feel like I'm gonna have to fill mine up with hobbies because I don't think sitting down all day is gonna be it for me.
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment. I think I heard somebody put it this way: retirement is when you get to start working when you want to work and working on stuff you want to work on. You can make that decision of no, not going to work on this, or I'm not going to do that, or yes, I am going to do this. So I'm looking forward to that flexibility of working when I want, not working when I don't want to do other things. But I'm gonna have to do something to keep busy, whether it be hobbies or a part-time job or whatever. Brittany and I have discussed possibly moving after we retire, going to Oregon if it hasn't fallen off the continental United States before then. Maybe going out to Oregon and living on the beach somewhere, or just somewhere out of Ohio, something different. So we've discussed that. Yeah, it's just trying to enjoy what you can. I think a big concern, and it's not only retirement, it's for when your kids move out of the house as well, is making sure I stay connected enough with her that we're not strangers when that happens. We're still good. We're still best friends, and we're still wanting to do stuff with each other, because that's going to be the time to do it. We were able to do it a little bit before the kids were born. Hopefully, as the kids, grow up and move out and start their lives, we'll be more financially sound than we were when we were younger, so we can start spending more time doing the stuff we want to do, or experiencing, going places, traveling. So I think it'll be keeping myself busy, but also trying to achieve some of these travel dreams I have, and that she has, stuff we've talked about since we've been together doing, and just between kids and finances weren't feasible. So I think it's gonna be a lot of that, and just trying to enjoy, hopefully at some point I'll have grandkids. Then I can use my retirement to spend time with my grandkids. Just spending your time doing what you're choosing to do, and not having a big part of it dedicated to having to work to provide. So, and trying to point my finances in such a direction that that's attainable, that I'll be able to do it.
So you're off to Oregon. I'm curious, Drew and Taylor, do you guys stay put where you're at, or do you also
No.
move in retirement?
Um, the wife and I already want to move. We're just trying to find the location. Like, we really like North Carolina, not Charlotte area, but like the Raleigh area we really enjoyed. So I told her no matter what, where we move next is where I plan on just staying till I die. Um, and I personally want a barn dominium. I don't need a fancy house. But yeah, I told her half of it could be like my golf simulator slash studio, and then the other half could be her music dream, whatever the hell she wants.
Yeah.
But I'm not a fancy guy. I just want to have some, because one of my stipulations is I want wherever I go. Again, it's where I plan on retiring. I want to be able to golf 9 months out of the year. Now,
Yeah.
as long as I can still like swing in a simulator, because I'll be old and feeble, as Taylor's already pointed out, and you're gonna have to stay strong and limber. So I'm gonna need a simulator to keep the old bones going. Because damn it, I need a hole in one before I die. That just has to happen.
It doesn't count on a simulator,
No, I wish it did, buddy. I wish it did.
but it does not count on a simulator.
It doesn't.
How about you, Taylor?
I have had, yeah, Graham and I talked a tiny little bit about it, but like I have had inklings of going out to like either the Dakotas or Montana, find some sort of mountainside place to, I don't know, a little bit of a tiny pond or lake or something, turn it my personal little Walden, and just kind of be some sort of mountain hermit and be out there.
Fits you.
Sending packages.
Yeah.
Sending packages in the mail. Yeah.
No. Yeah, people don't listen enough to me as it is. I don't need to be making trouble for myself. So
Now I do. The one thing that's, and I think Graham and I have discussed this, we both feel the same way. I would like to yell at children to get the hell off my lawn.
I do that already.
Yeah.
So I don't need retirement for that.
Damn it.
Just get out of the streets. Stop riding your bike so fast on the sidewalk.
Or are those your
Yeah,
kids or
all
are
of
these
them.
other kids?
A little of both. I mean, none of them are safe. So there's one kid that rode by on his bike the other day that used to bully the girls when he was in school, and I wanted to throw my water bottle at him when he rode by, but Brittany wouldn't let me. So she put the kibosh on that. There was no assault of a child, unfortunately.
It slipped out of your hands. I don't know what you want me to say.
Whoops. The problem is when it slips the third time. That's when it's like, okay, is it slipping? How about you, Nick? What does your retirement look like?
Good question. I think I kind of agree with what Taylor said. Like I I don't know what I would do myself without something to do. Same with I think everybody here. Like I'd want to be active with something. So there's a I read a stat where it's like depression actually goes up. I think it's like around 10 or 15% on retirement. I think a lot of times it's like you've had such a routine for so long, and then you no longer have that routine with work, and it's like now what do you do? So that's why it's good thought exercise at least now to get the
Yeah.
just thought exercise around it. But I agree, like um travel, probably longer time periods of travel. I think we do a good job of, scratching that itch, but it would allow more time to do that because you don't have to take PTO or, time off work. So, um, I think I also would want to, you know, focus a lot of time being present around the kids. Like that time period is where grandkids start to enter the picture, and I've seen the benefit of being close to both my parents and Nora, my wife's parents, are kind of centrally located, um, built-in babysitters that enjoy
Oh
that
yeah.
that time. So I'd love to be that with my children. Um, and I think probably go deeper on like some random hobbies, like hobby shop around, like be it cooking, gardening, just weird things around the house. But again, something to keep busy with. Um, and actually, as like I was talking to, it's like retirement homes. What does that look like uh, at our age?
Yeah.
One thought I always had, what would be so strange. I don't know if you've visited retirement homes for your own grandparents or, you know,
No.
what that looks like, but you always hear like the 1940s Bing Crosby playing and in these other
Oh
kind of
yeah.
things. Like, what is in the background in our retirement
Limp
communities?
Biscuit.
And is that
Just
like the
one of those
classic
days.
station? Is that the classic
Oh
stations
yeah.
now
Oh, yeah.
on the radio?
Taylor Swift, stuff like that apparently.
Oh, good
So,
Lord.
most likely.
So I've been in retirement homes, but sadly all my grandparents passed before I think we even got close to that point. All four of my grandparents died in like 2 years, 2 months apart from each other. Like it was just once one went, they all went. But
Mm.
I've worked in several, and oh my gosh, man, those people are legends. I was in there with a coworker, a handsome man, tall, handsome man, and dude, we're trying to go through this area, and we were kind of roadblocked by a herd of ladies on walkers, and he just jumped right in there. He was at the front of the line. He's like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry, lady. I didn't mean to get in your way." They're like, "Oh, don't you bother. And they all start groping him. They're
Oh yeah.
squeezing
Oh
parts of
yeah.
like, "Oh, we just like you, tight skinned young men coming around." I'm like, "Oh my dear
Oh
God."
yeah. They're crazy in there.
Oh yeah, it was hilarious. We didn't know what to say. And then the awkward part is whenever you'd go on the service elevator, that's where they brought the ones that expired
Yeah.
down in. And
Mm.
yicky.
That's Brittany used to work at one years ago, and some of the stories she would come home with, it was like that sounds like a shocking place. It really does. It was I couldn't believe some of the stuff that happened in there. Um, it's kind of funny I mentioned Oregon, and then we were talking about grandkids and stuff. I think it's not so much Oregon, like that would be the dream, but because if we had grandkids, it would be moving to wherever they are, I would have to say. Now it depends. I mean, if they're moving to like UP, Michigan, I don't think I want to move up there to follow my grandkids there.
Oh no.
But I do think that would trump any kind of moving where we wanted to go. It would be moving to where we could be with our kids and our grandkids, and provide that support that my family did too. Because I grew up near family, as my kids are growing up near family as well, and it helps immensely. Having those influences, not just the babysitter, but the influences, and all that. It's more community. So
You guys make me feel like a dick. I moved like 1,200 miles away from my parents.
yeah, I
Not
know
on
you did.
purpose. They're wonderful people, wonderful grandparents. But I mean, I moved primarily for a job opportunity, and even when I move, I don't plan on going back to Ohio.
Yeah, not only did you move away from your parents, you moved away from all your friends too. So you are a dick.
I do
I was
miss
So
about to say,
Jared.
hey, Drew,
I
you're
do miss
okay. I
Jared
was on the
sometimes.
opposite side of the planet for a while, so
It's true.
yeah, well, that doesn't
yeah,
make you any less of a dick either. So
wow. I
I,
didn't say I wasn't. I'm just saying I get you, Drew. You're good.
to add on to that, I am always terribly excited to come home to Ohio, just because I know that my core group of friends there do the stuff that I enjoy doing, where I can't find one of those human beings in this entire state. And this is a big state. Um, I just can't seem to make a friend that wants to go play golf. Um, it's just oh, let's go fishing. Why? Like, you want me to sit down and just come on?
You can do
Like,
some fly fishing. Come on now.
Oh God, no. That's
I,
too
I
annoying.
like doing it occasionally. It's not like a big hobby of mine, but I'll go out and take the kids out and go fishing every now and then. It's enjoyable. But
Again, when I hit
it's not going to be my hobby.
when I hit Ohio, my dad has that pond. It's enough fishing for the whole year.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Perfect.
It's especially since I'm taking my kids, I'm less concerned about fishing and much more concerned about catching, because otherwise they get bored real fast. So they're not ones to sit out there and take in the scenery like I can. But all right then. So like I said, we're not doing a throwback, just in the interest of time. We're going to test how that works. So we're actually going to move directly into top three. which because Nick is the guest today, he's also supplying. Thank you, Nick, for doing everything today.
We love you.
So let us get a break.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's just more fun if we let you bring your ideas to the table, freshen it up a little bit. So
No worries. No worries. I think, top of mind since I was on my trip this past week coming into it, I thought top 3 could be Misogi Challenges. So this is something I do every year, which is to define like what a Misogi is, or at least how I define it. I think you could find different descriptions around the internet, but it's really just intended to challenge myself each year. Um, it's things that I don't think might be possible in the first place, or really wouldn't pursue. It has a 50% chance of success or failure. And there's really only 2 rules. One is it has to be really hard. And 2, you can't die doing it. So I wanted to see what your uh, top 3 or 3 ideas of Misogis that come to mind for you all.
I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's a Japanese concept, isn't it?
Yep.
That's what I thought I read it's a Japanese concept. All right, Nick, normally how we do this is you go ahead and kick us off with your first one, and then we'll just go around. Or you can start third.
Okay.
You can start from the
If
top or bottom.
if I hear some, I'm also going to jot them down. So looking forward to hearing your guys's. In no particular order. I've had it on my list. Never pulled a trigger on it. I want to do an elk hunt on public land.
That'd
be able to
a
field dress
blast.
it and bring back all of the meat and enjoy it. I had elk, I think for the first time a couple years ago actually, and it was a totally different category of meat for me. It was so good, and it was like a mix between like lamb and a steak, like just so good in Colorado. It was a fresh piece of meat. So that like bumped it up a little higher on my list. So always wanted to do that one.
That's you're talking straight out of a Meat Eater episode. That's what Steve Ranella and those guys are doing all the time.
Now, if it would help, get the itch off you, we could have Taylor put on his new hat, and he could run around in the woods, and you could just, BB gun or something non-total violent at him, but
and then we'll just buy you some elk.
I don't. Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think I'd quite taste as good as an elk there from that. But
I said non-lethal. Jeez, but it'd be good
doesn't
practice.
mean you can't still get a bite out of me. Come on now.
I will say, Nick, I think that would be what an experience, because you're getting multiple things. You're getting the hunting, you're getting the backcountry hiking,
the murder.
A lot of those hunts are multi-day hunts. You're getting the camping as well. It's kind of that whole mountain man experience rolled into one. Plus, if you go the states, normally you're hunting elk, you can use high-powered rifles, which is always fun. So you can make those real long shots. But no, that's a good one. I like that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my dad has actually talked about wanting to do something like that, but he wanted to do it with the bow and stuff because that's kind of his.
Yeah, I've
his
seen
big
guys
thing.
do that too.
Yeah, so. But it's been a couple years, but I know he's gotten about 5 or 6 deer just from bow hunting and stuff. So
does he use a compound bow or what?
I think so. I don't know if he's what he's used. We haven't really talked about it a lot lately. But I want to say it was a compound bow.
That's usual. 90%.
I'm trying to think. I want to say the last one he got was about 5 years ago, and I don't think he's really done much hunting
since
in the last few years. So, but yeah.
Okay. All right, Taylor.
No, I'm up next.
Oh,
Okay.
you're up, buddy.
Oh boy, oh boy. So, yeah, I put these in an order of. I guess that would be the most challenging for me, maybe. One I'm gonna I think I kind of cheated on, so you can tell how much on the naughty list I'm gonna be for this one. I want to, I do the whole writing thing. However, I want to write a poetry book, and the stipulation for this poetry book is to have it sell 1,000 copies. Um, which I think is a little bit of a bigger leap for it. It's just something I really like poetry. And people who have read some of my poetry is always just like, why don't you write more of this? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I have a bad habit of not writing to write and just kind of like waiting until, at least with poetry, just kind of waiting until the moment hits me, sort of thing. And that ain't the healthiest way to do it, I don't feel like. But it's just I don't know. That's been like a personal dream for a very long time, and then I always kind of shelve it to either write on stuff or like write on books and stuff. And it's like I really want to do get a poetry book and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you have talked about that, especially lately. You've talked about it quite a bit, wanting to do it. So,
yeah.
Do you have any titles in mind?
So I want to call it PM, Poems by Moonlight, and that the concept was that it would be poetry that was written all at night, and everything, and just that sort of vibe, and not necessarily all of it being strictly that, but okay, this is what's coming to me at night, and like whether it's a nature thing, because it all stems from I was at the beach. This was when I was still in Japan and stuff. I was at the beach, and it was just like a full moon, and you could just see everything, and I was just like, this is just a really, I don't want to encapsulate it and just kind of write a description for it. No, I want to have like just a poem that just sort of hits me for this sort of thing. And I mean, you guys have read some of my poetry just for the little game, Dragon Bane stuff I put together.
Yeah.
Some quick poetry stuff. So it's just kind of, yeah. So.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I like too that you're setting like a goal of selling a certain amount too. So I think that's a little interesting wrinkle there.
If you need me to take pictures of you running through the woods at night, I will be happy to do it.
There you go.
Sure, we can do that without the poetry.
I'll bring some cameras up. Don't you dare worry.
We just gonna call it NM, Nudes by Moonlight.
I never said naked, not one time.
Yeah, nor did I.
Well, I think we were all thinking.
I'm a little concerned.
Why can't a man just frolic through the woods with his clothes
Yeah, seriously.
Okay,
with my little hat
sure.
on.
I don't know if there's many men frolicking in the woods at night with clothes on, but all right.
Don't wear your bull hat. Nick might take you out.
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
Right.
be careful of these events while I'm out on my elk hunt.
Exactly. All right, Drew. What do you got for us, bud?
Mine is I think it's fairly obtainable, but I'm likely not to do it based on all my other current interests. But I have wanted to learn how to work on small engines for a long time. There's a couple dudes I watch, and I think a fun one would be like an outboard boat motor, because you can get them fairly cheap. I really don't want to work on a damn lawnmower. An outboard motor, you put it up on a prop that's right in your face, whereas a lawnmower, you're hunched over, and I'm old, feeble, as Taylor would say.
Oh, good gracious.
So, I mean,
Get over yourself.
I am not, I'm good with stuff. But I've never really done a lot of mechanical work. So I think it'd be a fun challenge for myself to sort of, break out of what I currently do and try something new.
It would be like repairing a motor?
Yeah.
An engine?
Like, go buy a 1950, 70, whatever motor, and just, it doesn't run, go through the...
And you bring it back. That's cool.
Yeah, see, bring it back to life. So,
that's
why not?
I was talking to a guy years ago about getting a motorcycle because I wanted to learn how to work on small motors like that, just like little small motorcycle engines. And he was like, if you want to learn about small engines, he was like, you need to do lawnmowers. And I was like, why? Because you learn a lot more? He goes, no, because you're not going to kill yourself on a lawnmower if you do it wrong. He's like, on a motorcycle, you never know what's going to happen. So he's like, get a lawnmower. But I can understand Not even the hunch down thing. It's just I want there to be some excitement, and lawnmowers don't excite me.
It
It's
right.
like, ooh, I got a
It's.
lawnmower running. Okay.
I mean, you just think you go get yourself like an aluminum 15-foot boat hull and just throw it on there and go down to the lake and see
Yeah.
if you could rip her if you're paddling back.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good
You know.
time.
But
All right. So for the one I'll start with, this is attainable, but purely based on knowing who I am, this is actually a very difficult thing for me, and that is to.
he's gonna finish Chrono Trigger. He's
No,
gonna finish
it's
Chrono
not
Trigger,
on the list.
everybody.
That's 100% failure rate. So, no, it's to wake up at 5 a.m. every morning and do something with that time. I hate getting up early in any regards whatsoever. That would actually be very, very difficult for me. But it's also something that's attainable in a sense. I believe that very much has a 50% success, 50% fail rate because I hate getting up in the morning. So I
What
think
would
that'd
you
be a really
do?
good challenge to see if it helped me. It's like does this improve my life getting up earlier and taking more time to do stuff or that kind of thing.
Give me
You
some
might need.
examples of what you would do at 5 a.m.
Mm.
Uh
I was
read
gonna say that's like
books.
vague. You could just say I wake up at 5 a.m. and take a nap.
Well, no, you have to stay awake. You've got to, and I guess a good one would be wake up at 5 a.m. and not use any electronics or go back to sleep. So, like reading a book or trying to, or using the only time you can use electronics is to learn something new. Use that time to put towards gaining a new skill or, taking a class, an online class that I can take whenever I want, or just using that time to be productive. Go to the gym potentially, just get that extra time between work starts and getting up at 5 and what can I get done in that time to improve myself. So it'd be a test of that and like, hey, is it worth me working that into my routine? Is okay, I'm going to start being an early riser because right now I am not an early riser and I have no desire to be, but I've heard a lot of people say it'll improve your life. So
Does your
I am an
boss
early
listen to
riser.
this?
I like it. I heard somebody phrase it like this for, you wake up early and you get to start the day on your own terms instead of the day starting for you. Um, and I was like, yeah, that makes some really good sense. It's like, yeah, and I think we talked about it a few episodes back about, that's that early time is my calibration for making sure I don't start going crazy or redlining and being annoyed and
yeah,
irritated with stuff. So, yeah, Hope, hopefully you do give it a try
yeah, we'll see.
you see the benefits of it.
We'll see.
I echo that. It does feel like you get a cheat code for the day when you're up
Mm,
before everybody else.
mm,
Well, and maybe it's not 5 o'clock. Maybe it's even earlier. It'd be one of those
Oh, God.
2 hours before everybody else gets up or something like that. It'd have to be a decent amount of time to get something done. You
mm.
know what I mean? So
Well, because at least when I was younger, I used to be a bit of a night owl, and then it felt like everybody turned into night owls, and then it just sort of annoyed. It took away that nice kind of quietness, and I was like, you know what, guys, I'm gonna go to bed sooner, and then I'll just wake up earlier, and I'll keep that little little pocket of private time for myself.
well, and what makes this harder, and because you guys seem like you're not the way I am, I'm usually up till 1 or 2 in the morning every single night. So that makes it much harder for me to get up that early and essentially change my whole sleep routine.
Right.
Um, and that's going to be a sacrifice because we're busy up until a certain time at night, and then I'll usually take the next several hours to do what I want, video games or whatever it might be, and that's when it goes into that 1 or 2 in the morning. Well, there's going to be sacrifices that have to be made then at that point. So that's why it's the success rate is not as easy as it might be for some other people because it's going to be a big lifestyle change for me to
Mm.
do that just because of how I operate now. So,
Sure.
all right, Nick, how about your next one?
Okay, for number 2, um, this is a random one, but I want to choose an instrument and a rather difficult song that instrument features, and to be able to learn that song in instrument by ear alone.
Oh, I'm not
So
musical,
be
so
it
that sounds
piano,
impossible.
guitar, violin, like if you had an
Banjo,
entire year, banjo,
banjo.
if you had an entire year and could just listen to that song and had a couple hours a day, I feel like it could be possible.
Okay.
Yeah,
Question. Oh, sorry, Graham. Go.
no, you're fine. I was just gonna say, yeah, I think potentially, yeah, it could potentially be possible if you're devoting a whole year to it. So
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I'd give
Can
myself
you
a year to learn it.
play any instruments as it is right now?
Um, I yeah, I did
Okay,
play
I was gonna say
brass
you're really trying to
instruments.
skirt that one.
No, I played like brass instruments, some
Okay.
woods back in the day.
Plays a little
So
flute.
Oh,
little.
jeez. Oh, really, Drew.
little jazz flute.
Oh boy.
That's it, Graham. The jazz flute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like it could be possible. But
It's an interesting one.
that's why it's like a 50-50 chance that I could
I
succeed or
mean,
not.
how much more attractive would you be to your wife if you're sitting there like,
Just
Just
jazz
pick up
fluting
like a
away.
Spanish guitar and just
yeah.
There
rock
you
it.
go.
And they
All
ask you to play another song. Like,
Yeah. I just know
Just
the
do
one.
that. Graham will appreciate just do the Homer Simpson approach, right? And just kind of the saxophone sort of thing.
Saxophone.
I wasn't sure where you're going with that at first.
Yeah, I mean there was a lot to reference, but yeah.
All right, Taylor.
Pretty neat. All right, so my number 2, I've gotten this comment from a few people that they enjoy my cooking, and I don't know, when I cook for a lot of people, I tend to try to keep it very middle of the road, so it's not too out there and stuff. I mean, with that chili and stuff, I purposely kept it tame so it wasn't too wild there Saturday or anything, but more individualized. Anyways, where I'm going with all this is that to open up a food truck or something. Yeah. It's I love cooking. I enjoy cooking, and I don't know. It's just something that it's just something fun that I like to do, and I think it would be fun to to a degree to have a food truck or something. I know a few people that I went to college with that had done food trucks for a few years and stuff, and they really enjoyed it. And it certainly can be a lot of work, especially if you're trying to make sure you're getting your money in, and especially with like fairs and just events and catering or anything of the sort. But to just kind of like have a food truck and be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna plop myself, in a place that the city is okay with, and then just be there for a day, and then maybe come back a couple weeks later or something. That's kind of my sort of speed for that sort of thing. So
There was a Grandma was it was a push cart around Children's Hospital in Ohio, where the dude had the best brats I've ever had in my life.
Oh, really?
So, dude, I was in there one day. I was like, I'm gonna get me a hot dog or something. And this guy in front, he goes, I'll have a brat with cheese and peppers. And I'm like, that seems odd. And the dude's grilling it all up and smacks it on. I was like, oh my dear God, does that not look good? I like cheese and peppers.
Oh, heck yeah.
And so I got the same thing. And oh man, I still make brats that way to this day. But like, if the food truck's too much, you can always go with a cart. Just push yourself wherever you want to go, man.
Yeah,
Delicious.
That's like, I think it'd be fun to do that and like try to hit X amount of festivals a year or something. You know what I mean? Like a certain amount of festivals a year, that you're at. So that'd be kind of cool to try to do. So set a number.
Renfest, baby, here you come.
Yeah, turkey legs.
I'm not. I think I mentioned to somebody, like, I'm not a big fan of like chicken wings and stuff like that, but those turkey legs
are so good.
Yeah.
And where the hell do they get a turkey that big? Sheesh. But I'll go with my number 2, and This one I gotta say, when I was thinking about it, I was jealous of Taylor because he's actually put himself out there artistically. So, I mean, as I keep hinting at, I've been into cameras and I got to do it really to like shoot stuff for my kids, and whatever I kind of have out there right now, it's my kids stuff. All the stuff that I want to do, I haven't done yet because I'm honestly afraid to put myself out there artistically. I keep getting wrapped up in the gear acquisition syndrome, and just trying to perfect another craft instead of just the first video is going to be shit. Just make it and put it out there. Learn from your mistakes and make it better. So one thing I've wanted to do is have a short series of little short videos, like 2-3 minutes, of just me and my wife's interaction with the kids and each other, and just it's me. It's going to be a comedy, because that's my life. But I haven't done it in the last like 3 years. I haven't done it because no, man. That's why the partition's here. Kids trying to sneak on camera again.
Oh yeah.
Give me a hug. Come here. I love you. But I mean, honestly, I've been going over it lately, and I'm like, I have all the gear in the world to do it. I have all the tools. I'm just literally afraid to put myself out there creatively.
Which is not, I don't know how a good way to phrase it. It just seems really odd for you to say that. Just because of how, like with just like the last episode we were talking about and stuff, how outgoing you are and everything, and just
Sure,
the
but
personable confidence that you have. It is, to bring the word back, it is very endearing to hear you say that about yourself. So
chalk it up as a growth moment.
Well, I would even say doing this is starting to do that. You know what I mean? Your creativeness, you're putting that out in the sense of the openings that you create for the show, and the stuff we discuss here. I think this is kind of a good big step for you to get those creative juices flowing, because I've seen it already in the work you've done in the episodes here and stuff. So I think I think you've already started doing it in a sense.
It's definitely helping me get more comfortable with editing.
Yeah.
So, I mean that's a DaVinci Resolve it's complicated, and I mean I find myself not needing to go to YouTube to like, how the heck did I do this again? So now it's just like, that's muscle memory. I got it. So I'm feeling more comfortable with everything. I'm feeling more comfortable with the cameras now that it's not 100 degrees outside, and they won't overheat in 3 minutes. There's a likelihood I'll be able to get out and do a little bit more. We've been down to the park a few times. I've been testing just different lighting scenarios with just natural light, trying to see where I need to bring in like my own lighting. So I mean, yes, well, I am trying to figure things out. It's a lot of it's just been fear to throw my creative mind out there for the world to see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I think this is a good first kind of big push for that. So, you're gaining skills and kind of learning that, most people tend to appreciate that creativity being out there, then they're going to get down on it, be negative about it. So, and it's kind of easy to ignore the people that are, whatever. My life it'll operate just fine if you don't like what I'm putting out there. So, it doesn't bother me at all. So my second one is to sketch at least 10 minutes a day, every day for a year. Like I said, I've always wanted to be able to like draw cartoons and just learn how to sketch, that kind of thing. So I'd love just 1 year, every day I have to draw for at least 10 minutes. Whether it's be a little 10-minute sketch of something, or I spend 10 minutes a day for 2 months doing one big sketch, whatever it is. Just I'm putting pencil to paper at least 10 minutes a day, every day. Because I was talking to one of Brittany's friends from high school about like learning how to play the piano or learning to play an instrument. And she's like, it's not how long you're practicing, it's how often you're practicing. She's like, if you go and you touch the piano 10 minutes every single day, you're going to learn a lot more than if you're playing for an hour every week. She's like, it's just the consistency of being in front of the instrument or whatever you're doing. So you're not having to do it for a super long time, but just make sure you're doing it all the time. You're making that conscious decision to carve time out for it. And I think I would kind of impress myself if I devoted myself to that, how much I could improve in that time. Um, so it's always something I just want to try because I've always felt like I'm in no way artistically uh, set at all. I have family members that are very artistic. I feel like I never got that gene. So it'd be interesting experiment to see, like, is it somewhere inside of me? I just need to have the discipline to unlock it and put the time in to learn it. So that would be my second one, is to sketch at least 10 minutes every day for a year.
I'd say that's kind of the old writing adage of like you can edit a bad page, but you can't quite edit a blank page. So you gotta give yourself the not only the opportunity but also the grace to do that and not get hard on yourself. Like, oh, this is turning out like trash. Why am I even doing this? So
I see that advice a lot when I look up videos on like learning how to like most people quit because they look at their sketches and they're like, oh, I'm junk. This is trash. This is terrible. Right. That's not what it's about. That's good. Make those mistakes because you're going to get better and you're going to see that progress. And at least you're doing something.
Precisely.
If you're giving it up just because you're not terrible, you're never going to be better because everybody starts out terribly,
Right. Yeah. You get some people who are just kind of gifted at that. It's like the bleeps and the bloops, as I like to call them.
Yeah,
those little songs that I've done that the initially was intended for a game that a few of us were working on, and that just kind of fell through. But I just like, I kind of like doing this, and it's I get a little bit of a, I don't want to say like perverse pleasure because it just makes it sound weird, but it's kind of like
it does.
Well, it's kind of like I'm thumbing my nose because it's like, well, the whole half deaf thing, like I just hear things weirdly, right? So it's just like, I still make music sometimes, and then sometimes it sounds okay, but at least it sounds really good to me. So
yeah,
it's kind of the energy I have for it. So, but
and I've heard people describe like there are people out there that are gifted in things. And they're like, the way you got to look at it is they're not born knowing how to do it. Those people just tend to have an aptitude to pick it up faster than other people. They tend to absorb it and apply it faster than people that aren't gifted in that area. So they still have to go through the same rigors. They just have to do it in, half the time. Right. So, all right, for the last one, Nick.
I'm going to keep with the art theme here. I resonate with what Drew said and about art. So one of my challenges would be to create a collection of art and sell the majority of it. So I'd have to go to at least 5 art festivals, set up the booth and see if I can't get that collection, majority of it sold. So
that's a very unique take on that. That's
any specific kind of art?
Yeah, what kind of art?
No, I think the one thing, again, this is like resonates with Drew. One of the pieces of art, I guess you could classify it as art, but I love the photos that are on like the aluminum or like the metallic background. They just pop. There's so much vibrance there. So that's kind of like one. The other one is like go abstract. Like just like I've seen some of these, like some of them are cool, some of them are like, not to knock these artists, but it's like, did my child do this?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
That's why
you just don't vibe with it. You kind of don't get the connection.
And I think it's such a subjective thing, and it's like, do others, like, to put yourself out there, do others get what I'm putting down? So that's where it's like opening up, and some people are going to be like, you suck. This is terrible. And others are going to be like, I get that. Like this resonates with me. So
there is a man out there.
I just like to explore that
duct tape a fucking banana to a wall.
Oh yeah,
someone paid millions for it.
Oh yeah.
Like there was instructions on how to replace the banana, like because it's gonna turn black and get bugs. It's like, who the hell?
Didn't do that.
Who the hell?
That was not Sean. Sean did the sign of the urinal.
Yeah, that's that's the other key here is it has to be meaningful to me. So I have
Okay.
to
Mm.
like
Yeah,
put myself out there, not just tape a
it's got to
banana
be
to
art
the
that
wall.
speaks to you. Yeah, it's art that
Yeah.
speaks to you. So
Mm.
no, I like that. That's interesting.
Can
It's
you
good.
can you
It's good.
imagine? Like, he must have been angry when he tore that duct tape.
Yeah,
you know.
I can really feel his hatred towards bananas and potassium in general.
Potassium.
I still got a cramp, you son of a bitch.
I swear that potassium is from something where they yell potassium.
I don't
It's
know.
from
If
something.
if it is, I don't know it.
So back in the day, the potassium brought me to, and I have to share.
Oh
My
no.
my mother used to have problems with her potassium levels, and I didn't know what. I was young. I was like 12, 13. What the hell's potassium, mom? So she kept going on and on because I would take. We were living with my grandparents because the new house was being built in Marengo, and I remember I'd go to the kitchen, bam, there's banana and there's ice cream, put in the blender, you got a vanilla banana shake. And my mom came in just screaming one day, like, stop eating all my bananas. I need my potassium. And my grandfather, he just walks in, hey, you better make me one of them potassium shakes now. Come on. Because he had a serious sweet tooth. He heard the blender. He's walking upstairs because he wants a milkshake. And so I just ended up taking two bananas to make one for my grandpa and one for me,
That's
and just
funny.
it's been a potassium shake ever since that day, man. I love that old man.
Oh, that's good. Oh, back to me then for the last
Yeah.
one.
Yes, sir.
All right, so this one, like I said, it's kind of like increasing levels of difficulty, I think, maybe for me or something. This one, I just bought some woodworking tools last week. I don't know if I mentioned it for the episode, last week's episode or not,
I don't think
but
so.
okay, I might have mentioned it in private, at least maybe to you, Graham, maybe not. But I want to, not this coming Christmas, but next Christmas, I want to make a chess board for my brother.
You did mention this to me. Yeah.
So I want to get into woodworking and stuff. So I'm gonna work on making some just like simple kitchen utensils and stuff to kind of build up the aptitude for that. But what I really want to do, and this is just some, and they probably everybody has this to some degree, maybe this fondness for it. But I want to make a music box.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
So yeah. I know that one's probably a lot more difficult than probably the 50-50, but perhaps this is a little bit more of a down the line, so kind of maybe another cheat. But I just want to. I really love the sound of music boxes. There's just something really comforting about them, and I don't know, coupling with the bleeps and bloops that I like to make every now and again. Everybody who has really taken the time to listen to them has always said that I have a really good ear, no pun intended, for melody.
Yep. I can
But
see that.
yeah, right. I got one really good ear for melody, so yeah, and I think that would translate really well to making um, a music box. So
Yeah.
So you'd make the musical component thing
yeah, I
as
want to.
well.
Yeah, I want to try to do that
Nice.
too. Yeah.
I'd go get a Raspberry Pi and just stick a speaker in that damn box. It'd be fine. Put it on the
So yeah, because there
switch.
was I can't remember. There was a whole YouTube video of the one dude who did that with marbles, that the wooden machine that I can't remember what the heck it was, but I was like, man, that's a really cool thing to do. Certainly well beyond my level on anything, but just to make some little, maybe even some bigger thing for it or something. If it's a really difficult process to make,
Even brings in like a chest to put at the end of the bed because he couldn't make the little box small enough. So it's just
just plays 10 notes. It's like, okay, here you go.
That's amazing. It's so good. I was
Love
reading a
it.
book about on like traditional handheld working tools, just hand woodworking tools.
Mhm.
And one of the things that like when a new apprentice would come into the shop to start training, the very first thing that apprentice had to make is they had to make their own woodworking bench. So
Okay.
they spent the first week or 2 weeks or whatever just building their own woodworking bench. And if you've seen traditional uh, hand woodworking tools, the bench is pretty complex. There's wooden vices and all kinds of pegs and stuff in it to
Hmm.
hold, boards certain ways. So it's a pretty big project actually. And I always thought that would be fun to like make my own bench that then you could, cause you build storage in for your hand lathes and saws and all
Right.
this. And it's really cool.
Mm.
And the book
Yeah.
I have has like instructions on how to do that.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Where did you get this book? What made you get a
I
get a
have
book
like
like that?
4 of them just because I thought it was a super interesting topic, and I thought maybe someday it could be like a retirement thing. Because I like
Oh,
the idea of woodworking. I like working with my hands as well, but I also don't want to cut my hand off on a saw, so like a table saw. So I thought, like, just the I don't know, kind of the focus and I can't think of the word right now, but with the hand woodworking, it's slower, it's more meticulous, methodical.
Mm.
I think that'd be fun to learn how to do that and do that like a retirement when you're older. I forget the name of the place. If you really are interested, I could send it to you. But they bind and print special books on hand woodworking tools and stuff. So, and around the time of my transplant, there was like 3 or 4 books had been looking at for a couple years, and I was like, well, I'm getting my heart taken out. I feel like I can treat myself, so I went ahead and got them for to kind of look through as I was recovering. But
Mm.
they're pretty interesting books. One's written by an Estonian woodworker from like the 1800s. It's just why and like all of his techniques and essentially a training manual written by him. It's pretty wild. Translated to English. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd be
So
interested in it.
yeah,
so
it's
just listening to previous episodes, I'm just imagining your bookshelf is filled with Hobbit and then these woodworking
these
books.
woodwork. Well, yes, right now for sure. So and a
Yeah.
bunch of tabletop RPG games.
Yeah,
So
you I didn't point it out, but when you were over, I don't know if you saw that small little dresser that I had out in the living room.
yeah.
My grandfather actually made that for me.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's and it needs work done on it, so that would be something I would like to kind of fix up
Yeah.
and stuff. So,
Repair and restore for sure.
mm.
All right, Drew.
So on to Drew.
All right, so mine is, and I've brought this up on the show in the past, but I would like to start finding nice areas to kind of hike. Now, Houston kind of sucks because there's no hills, like, anywhere. Um, so I would like to go start, even maybe it's when we go on vacation, start finding spots to hike, because eventually, once my kids are out, my wife and I are going to walk parts of the Appalachian Trail. And again, no delusions that I'm ever going to walk the whole thing, but I would like to walk a section where I'm actually camping in the woods, and I will fight a bear. No problems.
So, in the sense of a challenge, how much of the trail would you want to do in a year? Like that would be a 50-50 chance.
I don't know, because I don't want to hike the trail when I'm retired. I will absolutely do it, but I would like, a week long vacation, like a week hike. I wouldn't mind doing, something to that extent where I'm really seeing some parts, and then, as we do a part, the next year, 2 years down the road, we go do a different section of it. Maybe look at, sections that are difficult. You can walk in 3 or 4 days, and then, build up the difficulty level. So again, 50% chance of success, and the goal is not to die. So
I'd fight a bear with you, Drew.
yeah, if I fight a bear, eat an elk with Nick, whatever it may be.
That's yeah, it's not a difficult thing to do. I've heard. I've known a couple people that have attempted it and uh, not been able to finish it. So it's a
It's like
slog
a
for
6 month
sure.
walk.
Yeah,
So
it's a
Mm.
huge thing. So
I don't know how
Yeah, because
people
it
have
goes
the
from
financial freedom to do such an
that's
adventure.
that one mountain in Maine all the way down to Atlanta.
yep. It's no joke for sure. So um, yeah, that would be it's something I always thought would be interesting to try, but I have no expectation of ever doing it.
Yeah, and I mean,
Um,
I'm not in peak physical condition, so again, I would never dream of doing the whole thing because I would probably die on part of it. But just
you could
just
break
the
it up, like just
yeah,
breaking it up. You
absolutely.
could do
There's
it.
there's also smaller trails like John Muir Trail and
Mm.
what is that, Sequoia National Park? I mean,
Mhm.
that's 2 weeks.
And see that'd be
Still
fine.
still long, but you're camping and
That would be cool.
you're out
But
there.
but if there is anyone here in Texas, it's gonna have to be the right time of year because you'll just die out there from the heat and humidity.
Oh, for sure.
So,
Yeah.
but that's my third one.
That's a good one.
All right. So my third is part of a bigger overall goal, which I know I've talked to Taylor about several times. Um, is I would like to memorize all the characters of hiragana, which is one part of the Japanese written language. So you have hiragana, which is a smaller section that's like the basic of the basic. Then you have katakana, right, Taylor? It's katakana,
Mhm.
right? Okay, yes.
Yep.
Which is used more for foreign words. And what else? It's used for
Loan words. I mean, yeah, foreign words, loan words, and um, sometimes they will use that to, if, in literary senses. Though, if you had played Chrono Trigger more, there's a robot character, for example, that
I,
he speaks in katakana, but it's also like to delineate like robotic and talk in
what is the
literary senses.
character's name?
Robo.
Yeah, I know Robo. I played plenty far enough. I almost got to the end of the game. Okay, let's relax.
Did you?
I did. Yes.
Uh
I absolutely know who Robo is. Dun,
huh.
dun, 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 dun. Yeah, okay. Kiss My Butt. I know it. That was the song. Anyways, and then the highest level and the hardest to learn is kanji, which is the character based
Oh yeah.
part of the language. So hiragana is how many characters are there, Taylor? There's like 40 or something or more, 80.
No, hiragana. Oh, I don't know the number exactly, but it's the five. It's 5 syllables for yeah, I U A O,
Yeah.
and then kakikukeko,
Yes.
and kind of going a ka ta sa da, and then kind of got the ya, but the ya is only like 3, and then there's oh oh. I
Well,
don't
regardless, however
quite
there
remember. I
are.
want to say it's like 20 something.
Yeah, I feel like
Okay.
it's doable in a sense of memorizing all of those, which is kind of the first step to learning written Japanese.
How many are there? How many characters are we talking about?
Well, kanji wise, it's thousands.
Thousands, yeah. That's a multi-year thing. But just to get my footing of hiragana would be awesome to learn that in a year. But I'm not very disciplined when it comes to that stuff, so that's why it's hard for me to do it. I've tried multiple times to do it. Um, so like really devote myself one year to like I'm going to learn this, and then if I can start into katakana, um, because I'd love to learn how to read Japanese. I'd love to learn how to speak, at least in a conversational sense, not fluently per se, just because I have a lot of through my cousin, there's ties to Japan, and when her husband comes to visit, I'd like to be able to converse a little with him in his native tongue. And then other than that, I'm not really talking to anybody from Japan, so I'd like to learn how to read it. Because, like I said, I'm a fan of anime and I read manga, Japanese comics, and stuff. So it'd be nice to be able to not always have to have the translated or the subtitles. You just kind of pick it up by ear
And
and by
there's
reading.
also some secondary benefit of just helping with the noggin, but I think it helps you think differently when you know a different language.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just yeah, because of just how that works. I remember it being explained with like Japanese and Spanish because they can kind of imbue objects more so with essence, so to say. That there's less of a stringent, especially with an American language of cause and effect. There's not that it's not there, but it's that it's a lot easier to just kind of be like, okay, the picture fell off the wall. We don't need to have some sort of dissertation explanation for what caused that fall. So there's a little bit of a different mindset that can come from that. But that's the wonderful, insidious nature of language.
Well, so and it would also be part of an overall goal to eventually try to pick up. Like I don't expect to ever know all the kanji. I think there's not many people out there that do know all the kanji, but at least where I could read on a very basic level, kind of pop culture level or travel level. I don't need to be reading ancient Japanese texts. So I think that's where the cutoff is. I don't need to be reading really old ancient Japanese stuff. I need modern day kanji.
It's a nice humbling experience to look at, like the charter for school that opened up in like 1870 and be like, I cannot read a single. Oh, I think I know that one kanji. Just because of how it looks and everything, you're like, fuck.
Well, that's my cousin has been living there for several years. I mean, probably 7 years, something like that. She goes, like, yeah, I run across stuff all the time. I still don't know.
Oh yeah.
And like dialects and stuff. She'll go into a place and she'll call something, and they're like, oh no, that's not what that means here. This is slightly different here. And she's like, oh, okay. She has to have her husband help her still quite a bit on stuff. So she said the mail, actually, she really struggles with the mail still. And like the address systems and stuff like that, she says she still struggles with. But so yeah, I think it'd be cool to try to memorize all of this in a year.
Nice.
Certainly
All right.
challenging.
Well, for my brain, yeah, I picked up a little Spanish over my life, not a lot. Very, very
¿Dónde
little.
está la biblioteca?
Yes.
Why
Exactly.
did you say it like that, though? What
It
was
was
that?
it was on some Key and Peele show or something stupid. But I'll tell you about Spanish. I grew up in Marengo, Ohio. That is the most white farm town
We did not grow up around
on the
people,
planet.
Spanish
Yeah.
speakers.
Almost anybody of any other color than Caucasian, like it
Yeah.
just wasn't out there. And I remember, like, I don't need this shit. Like, look where I live. Now I'm in Houston.
Yeah.
Damn it, do I wish I paid more attention in Spanish class.
I'll tell you, I can still speak fluent Murakami, though. I'll tell you that.
Oh, boy.
Tell you, daggone
You can leave
man.
Murakami, but you can never take the Murakami out of you. So, all right, guys. I think we're at a good spot here. Everybody agree?
Sure. Excellent spot.
All right, perfect.
best.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed the episode. You can check us out on social media at Life Around 40 Pod. The links should be down below and also in the description, so you can use that. We're also available on most of the major podcast platforms, so you can check us out there as well on your drive to work. Nick, again, we'd like to thank you for coming on. This is a fun episode. It was nice to get another, insight in here and bring in some topics. Honestly, I don't know that we would have ever discussed. I know the Misogi thing would have never come up
No.
ever because I
No,
don't think any of us
definitely not.
really knew what it was.
I Googled the hell out of that.
So thanks for coming on. We appreciate it. And we'll have
Mm-hmm.
to, if you're into it, we'll have to have you come back for another one down the road.
We'll see about that after you see how the ratings happen with this one. But
We got one
I
view.
appreciate
You're never back.
you guys. Keep it up. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, and
They're enjoyable.
just so everybody knows, Nick was our first listener because he got a preview version of it first, and I think he's one of our most consistent listeners. My mother is also one. I gotta give her some credit.
My mom was. She said she got a bit teary eyed with some of the stuff they were talking about.
Really,
Oh, boy.
on one,
That's-
yeah. So
that's the thing. There's a couple episodes we've gotten into some pretty deep stuff I was not expecting. So-
Dan actually went to Highland Pizza to see if he could find the booger on the shelf, and I got a bunch of pictures.
That's hilarious.
oh goodness.
So, shout out to you, Dan.
So again, thanks for coming on, Nick, and thanks for literally supporting us the length that we've been on. So especially crazy to think it's our 12th episode. So we appreciate it, and like I said, we'll have you back on again sometime. So
Thanks.
Thanks,
all
buddy.
right, guys.
Thank you.
All right, see you, everybody.
Peace.
Bye.
Doodles.
rock retirement. Oh yeah, we're diving into Misogi Challenges. Grab your guitars and settle in, friends. It's time for some wild camaraderie.